and I think the campaign has already begun for BJP, wherein Modi says get rid of beliefs against India's growth. So he again, on the event of Dussehra, Modi asks people to take 10 pledges to help India develop. Now he's actually referring to the 10 days of puja that we do, Dussehra, those 10 days, that's what he's referring to. So every day you need to take a pledge. That's what he is calling out for, and calling upon people to defeat forces trying to divide the country with casteism and regionalism. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday said Dussehra should also mark the burning of ideologies which are not about India's development but about fulfilling selfish interests. So there is a hidden message out there. So of late we saw that Congress is demanding for a caste-based census, owing to which, there is a hidden message out there. He says, defeat forces trying to divide the country with casteism and regionalism. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday said. So that is what probably he is referring to if I try to decipher the lines out there. Now moving on, that's what my opinion is, but he might be referring to, I don't know. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday said Dussehra should also mark the burning of ideologies which are not about India's development but about fulfilling selfish interests. Addressing a huge gathering at a Dussehra event here, Modi said the festival, that was in New Delhi, the festival should not be confined to burning of Ravana's effigies and Lord Rama's victory over the demon, but also mark the triumph of patriotism over every evil in the country. And he said his comments were an apparent swipe at the opposition party. So I was not the only one to interpret it that way. The editor also interpreted it in the same way. Whom he has repeatedly accused of seeking to divide the country in the name of caste and religion to draw political mileage. Well, people, please do let me know, a caste-based census, will it divide the country? That already exists. It very much exists in our society, although since we were brought up, personally speaking, I come from an army background. My father was in defense. So the way we were raised, there was no caste system, no religion, nothing, we did not have any differentiation. All of us were the same. We used to reside in a quarters, and everything was same for us, the way we were treated everywhere, be it in our school. But once you come out of the school, once I completed my 12th, I did my graduation again, the college was more in a defense related area, and a lot of children were, my classmates were all the children of defense people. But once you step into the society, once you grow up, you start working, or you start participating in social events, that's when you get to know, and for people like me who come from a background wherein I did not even know what is my caste, and what is the caste of the person I'm speaking with, what is the religion. It did not matter to us. But once I see it is very much prevalent in the society, as I grew up, people started asking the forms that I was filling. There you ask for caste. Why? Why is the caste asked at the first place? Every government form will ask for your religion, will ask for your caste. Why is that? So why don't, if that is the case, then we should remove that also. And if that exists, then what is wrong with the caste-based survey? Now that will give us an opportunity, jitni abadi utna hak. That's what is going to happen. So let's say if there are 500, let's say there are 10 lakh BC, population out there, and they don't have even a single representative. Is that fair? Is that fair? That is not fair. They need to have their own representing them, somebody from their community who understands what are the challenges a particular caste is facing, what are the challenges a particular community is facing. That's what I think, with the prevailing system, ideally it should not be there, but it exists. We cannot deny the fact that it exists, and it has to be taken care of. So once we have that census, they will have an equal representation, and that's also important. The power remains in the hand of very few. So that has to be taken away and given to those who actually deserve it. We should pledge to end the social ills and discrimination, he said, adding that every evil which disturbs the social harmony should be burnt as well. With the 10-day Durga Puja festival being marked with Ram Leela, Modi noted that a grand temple dedicated to Lord Rama is being built in Ayodhya. So, you see, we have a tendency to forget things. Now, be it Deccan Chronicle or be it any other newspaper today, if you see, where is the mention of, the war that is going on between Israel and Hamas? Where is the mention, of the war that is going on between countries like Russia and Ukraine? There is no mention of what Pakistan and Afghanistan is going through on their borders. We tend to forget. We were very keen to read about those news. Mizoram, what is happening in Mizoram? What about the Kukis and Metis? Nothing has been mentioned out there, and we also tend to forget. But BJP out there, and that's a very good move from their side. I would like to acknowledge that move from their side. Whatever might be the forum, their think tanks or their leaders, all of them together as a team, they do not miss out on highlighting their achievements. On every forum, on every platform that they get, they highlight their achievements so that it remains fresh in the memory of a common man. Now, Ayodhya, the case was a big issue, and for centuries, and all of us were very keen as to what would be the verdict. The verdict came, the construction started, we all forgot. How many of us every day remember the Ayodhya case? We don't. But BJP will make sure that you remember it. Whenever he will address any, rally or any social or cultural event, he will make sure that you remember what was achieved during their tenure. Now, these are the, achievements as far as BJP is concerned. So, he said Ayodhya, and he said everyone's, and it will be for everyone's good, for good fortune that they are witness to it after centuries. So he said we are all lucky, all of us are really fortunate to witness this event of Ram Mandir being inaugurated. Bhagwan Shri Ram bas aane hi wale hain. Lord Ram's arrival is imminent, he said, asserting that prayers at the temple, Bhagwan Ram hamesha se the, but the way he will present is emphatic. He'll say Bhagwan Ram bas aane wale hain. So it is so impressive, and people keep that in their mind as well, that okay, BJP got the temple, the Ram temple built. So nice way to highlight your achievements. Further to this, he said prayers at the temple during the next Ram Navami will spread happiness in the entire world. Okay, the construction of the temple, he said, is happening amid many auspicious developments, and cited India's successful lunar mission. Now, yet again, how many of us actually remember Chandrayaan every day? But Modi ji will make sure that we do. That's what politics, and what a beautiful orator he is. The way he frames his sentences and make sure we don't forget anything. Inauguration of a new parliament building and the enactment of a women's reservation law. We also forgot that this law was passed this month, and with by both the houses. The Lord Rama is coming under such auspicious signs. He said after 75 years of independence, India's fortunes are now going to rise. And Modi also asked people to take 10 pledges, including helping at least one poor family to raise its socio-economic status. The country will become a developed nation when everyone is developed. He said, as long as there is even a single poor person in the country who does not have basic facilities, we will not rest. That's what he had to say. Also, moving on, what we have here is Bhagwan Bhagwat faults foreign forces for Manipur row. So Mohan Bhagwat, I think it is Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, that's RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat on Tuesday attacked the left sympathizers, terming them as cultural Marxists who are selfish, discriminatory and deceitful. The undesirable forces, he accused them of trying to take control of the media and academia and plunge the nation into confusion, chaos and corruption. Now he is actually referring to what happened in Manipur. So there are definitely there will be a foreign nation also involved and foreign forces, so to say. Bhagwat said to achieve narrow political gains, attempts are being made to forge alliance with these undesirable forces in the country to defeat political rivals. Speaking at the Vijayadashmi Utsav in Nagpur, Bhagwat wondered whether there was a hand of extremists from across the border in violence in Manipur. He said a strong political will and efficiency is needed to control the situation in the state. Definitely a strong political will is needed, that is well said. And it's not only the foreign forces, there are, it's an amalgamation of different factors that has given rise. We have gone through that once, and Bharat, can you just help me with, where do I get, okay. Where is the board? So let's quickly go through, as I also got inspired by BJP. So let me just come back and refresh the memory of everybody. So what happens here? So we have the hill area and we have the plains. So these are the plains and the hills. And we have a bordering nation called Burma or Myanmar. So this is another country, this is India, these hills belong to India. And we have, the Myanmar is the neighboring country for this region. Now what happens is, the population residing here are the Meiteis, who are in majority, nearly more than 60%. More than 60% of the population resides in the plains, all right? And then we have the hills where the remaining 40%, the number is not exact, it might vary, but it is, the ratio is nearly the same. Now, the problem is, the challenge is the resources the land mass is only 10%. 60% of the population residing in only 10% of the area, but the advantage is power. So they enjoy the power. They are in majority. So they are the ones who actually, if you see any, let it be the political power or be it any organization or government organization, they are the ones primarily enjoying the power, are the Meiteis. And on the hills we have the Kuki community. I might be spelling Kuki wrong. So the Kuki and Meitei community, they are considered under scheduled tribes. They are under this category of scheduled tribes, owing to which they have the full control of the land or the hills that belong to them. and no Meitei can actually buy any land on the hills. So they do not have access to the resources. So resources are present with the Kuki community or with the people residing or with the minority community, so to say, because their percentage is less. So minority has the resources, the power lies with the majority. Now that is the conflict. Now they want to extend the population. There is a lot of stress because it's only 10% of land mass that they are occupying. So all the resources are being consumed really quick, and they would need to buy some land out there, which they cannot because they do not have the ST status. If they are not scheduled tribes, so they cannot buy land in the hills. So that was one of the reasons. Meiteis were demanding scheduled tribe status for themselves as well, which was opposed by the Kuki community, because if Meiteis get access to that, they will have power and land both. So a line needs to be drawn, a political will needs to be there, so that there is a similarity. You know, we draw a parallel as to Kukis get their share of representation in power, in politics, and government jobs and everywhere. So that has to be done. On the other hand, resources are to be provided to the Meiteis. That also has to be taken care of. So there has to be an accord between the two communities. Somebody has to sit there. I'm surprised to see why is central government not intervening out there. What is Amit Shah, you know, brilliant mind. He can actually go there and take care of the situation. He can have a word. The Home Minister can go there, have a word with both the communities, and he can actually get this solved. I have high hopes from him. So that is one factor, people. And apart from that, people also give it a religious spin, because majority of the Kuki community, people follow Christianity, and Meiteis are comprising of Hindus and Muslims. With Muslims being in minority there, the major population is that of Hindus are Meiteis. So people gave a religious spin also to this. Apart from this, you know, why did I write Myanmar here? Because there was a coup last year in Myanmar, owing to which, now if you see, this is a border area and it's porous. You know, people from Myanmar and the Kuki community are related as well. So around 4,000 people from Myanmar came inside India and they were settled on the hills. What did they start doing? They started, cultivating drugs. In fact, they started peddling drugs. And that also became an issue. Now, these 4,000 people were actually a burden, and they were not Indian nationals. So that was another issue that triggered the situation so bad. So definitely it's not the hand of a foreign nation. Myanmar did not want or intentionally did not do this, but it was a repercussion of the turmoil, the political turmoil that Myanmar went through, owing to which we had people coming inside India. 4,000 was the number that was quoted then. So these are the three different reasons, prime reasons, so to say. And also we had, there was another community that actually, Nagas is another community that they have. There are multiple tribes existing out there in Mizoram.